I want to preface this by saying I've never experienced culture shock like this before. The major question I've been asked is, would I go back? Well, you have to stick around to the end of this story to find out. For now, let's start at the beginning. This is my true experience about my journey to Karachi. The journey from the airport was longer than expected, but that's okay. I wanted to see it. I wanted to witness the city. Even the drive was an unforgettable experience. Almost immediately, I witnessed the struggle. The city has been through a lot. She bears some heavy scars. There's a strong, unpleasant smell that lingers through the air and seeps through the car windows. And the streets are filled with trash and plastic. Stray cats and dogs rummage through the trash. There are cows there too, looking for food along with them. Stray cows in the streets, no fence or anything, just roaming around, free in a sense. Dust and debris fill the air and the traffic is heavy and brutal. Honking comes from every direction. Cars come in and out of traffic. Motorcycles squeeze in between cars, holding full families, mothers, kids, brothers, sisters. And they all pile up on the motorcycle. I'm not sure if I've ever felt so much anxiety. I feared a kid would fall off the motorcycle. It was already too much for one day. When we stop, children come up to the car and clean your windshield. I noticed this trend throughout our drive. Men going from car to car, selling roses. Homeless women with no shoes asking for money. How did it get this way? Just over 1/3 of the households in Karachi can be classified as poor. Unfortunately, the city is unable to keep up with the pace of its growing population. Water and sewage networks meet roughly half of the city's needs. Most sewage is dumped into the ocean, untreated, or dumped out into the open. I guess that would explain the smell. Among those issues, the city has been the victim of natural disasters. There are numerous reasons why the city is stuck in poverty. Honestly, too many to fit into a single video. Okay, so it's looking like this is where we will be staying for the next couple of weeks. I still remember the first day we went out. On our street, there aren't very many people outside during the day. But once you get to the main road, there are people everywhere. And that's when it happened. The stares. People stared from every different direction. It made me a bit uncomfortable, and I didn't quite know how to feel and how to handle it. When I turned the corner, I saw officers with guns. This was even more frightening. However, after being in Karachi for a few days, I realized how normal this is. Security had guns, military people had guns, officers had guns. There was never a day I went outside and didn't see guns. I know people think that Americans are used to seeing guns because of everything you see on TV, but actually, out of my entire life, I can count on one hand how many times I've seen a gun. Eventually, though, I got used to this. Honestly, I started to feel safer when there were guns around. The stares never went away. But I realized it's not to be disrespectful. It's more out of admiration. They're not used to seeing foreigners. So this simply is just their natural reaction. Fortunately, it looks like there was a power outage. I think that's like the third one this week. Seems to happen pretty often. Fortunately, we do have a generator, which is why the top light is on, or this kitchen light is on. But like in the bedroom, there's no light in here. Certain things don't get powered by the generator. I'm pretty sure that's to keep it running as long as it can. Power outages in Pakistan happen very often. For us, it happened almost every other day. It's normal to have a generator in the home to provide backup power. Sometimes they even have planned power outages. This one was the largest one in 3 months, lasting 12 hours and affected almost the entire country of Pakistan. The call to prayer. Adhan. It means to listen. It happens 5 times a day and can be heard from everywhere. The beach, the mall, even your own apartment. Sometimes you can hear the silence when the call starts. It's an indication to leave the worldly desires and issues behind and to come and pray. When I first heard the call, honestly, I didn't know what it was. I thought someone was playing really loud music outside. Eventually, I was told that this is not a song. This happens in many Muslim countries. Although I am not Muslim, I respect the call to prayer. It can be peaceful at times. Also, being Christian, there are times when I forget to pray, so having a reminder is kind of nice. On this day, I decided to go to the beach to try to get some filming done. This brings me to yet another thing I did not expect. You should be aware that if you visit Karachi, you will be asked to take a lot of selfies. I took selfies with so many people. They didn't speak much English, but the word photo and selfie were the 2 words almost everyone knew. I felt like a celebrity. I'm not sure why people do this. I'm guessing they don't meet many people from the US too often. I wish I spoke the language. There are a lot of misconceptions about Pakistan that people don't realize. I talk more about this in one of my past videos. If you haven't seen that one, I'll leave a link at the end of this video. This beach isn't like any beach I've ever been to. It's filled with people trying to sell you a camel ride or food, or little kids selling flowers or trinkets. It's hard to understand how kids so young have to worry about being the provider for their families. Some of these kids aren't even teenagers. The cost of food, fuel, and overall cost of living force many families to send their children to search for work instead of the classroom. I couldn't imagine sending my child to work a 9-hour job to help put food on the table. My heart goes out to the mothers and fathers who are forced to do so. I tried to relax by the beach when this kid came and asked me for money. Unfortunately, I only had enough to get home and told him no. I put my head down for a second, and then it happened. My worst nightmare. He pointed a gun at me, right on my head. My heart started pounding. I had heard of muggers in Karachi doing things like this. Before this incident, I tried predicting what I'd do in this situation. If I'd cry or faint or even pee my pants. But I stood, frozen, shaking, and every second felt like an eternity. I was too terrified to look up. I could feel my heart beating faster and faster, and my thoughts running through my mind like a bullet train. What should I do? But the boy was silent, and the situation felt strange somehow. The tip of the gun didn't feel like what I imagined, and this boy was not aggressive. When I finally got the courage to look up, it was the boy. He had wrapped his fingers around my hair. He spoke to me in Urdu. A question, I think. He wanted to ask me something about my hair. I wish I could have understood what he said. I wish I knew what his life was like, what his family was like, why he was here on the beach selling merchandise. I felt ashamed for assuming that this boy meant me any harm. He was curious about me. I was curious about him too. Inshallah, I hope we meet again. If there is anything the people here take seriously, it's food. In Karachi, I will openly say that I tried some of the best food I've ever had. Nahiri, gulab jamun, lassi, naan, biryani. So much biryani. The people of Karachi know exactly what they're doing in the kitchen. I didn't eat a single meal that I thought was disappointing. Some of the most notable restaurants and places I visited: Qasar Shireen, dessert paradise; Zahid Nahiri, amazing; and Cloud Naan, which sells naan stuffed with all types of toppings. I can't get enough of it, but there was something I probably should have kept in mind. I don't think that the food is agreeing with my stomach. Like, it literally feels like someone is taking a spoon and like stirring my insides. As much as I love the food in Pakistan, you do have to be careful with what you eat. Our bodies aren't used to the levels of spices found in many of their traditional dishes. In my case, however, I think this was food poisoning or a stomach virus, mainly because it lasted for 5 straight days. This can be caused by several things: eating something that wasn't cooked properly, which causes unwanted bacteria to fester in the body, or eating something that contained contaminated water. Unfortunately, in Karachi, you cannot drink the water. Because the water contains chemicals and high levels of E. coli, people have to buy their own water or have a filtration system installed. This is a little inconvenient because I have planned on cooking something and now it's looking like I can't do that because I haven't been able to get this gas turned on. Okay, so every time I light it, it just turns right back off. So yeah, we'll probably have to like order food or something. The Sioux Southern Gas Company announced that it would supply gas only during meal times. As the population increases, the demand for gas also increases. Basically, in order to use the shower, we have to turn the geyser on. So we haven't been able to get the geyser to work. We turn it on. I assume that the water is heating, but the water unfortunately hasn't been getting hot. She did give us another solution to that. So basically what we're gonna do is use this rod, plug it up here, and then you put it into the bucket of water. And then you're gonna take this small bucket here and fill it with water and then just wash your body, basically. It looks like that's how we'll have to take our showers for the next couple of days until we get this whole geyser thing figured out. Every day I found myself wondering how people live like this. I guess they're used to it. This is their normal. I missed home. No, that wasn't it. I missed my little privileges that make my life easier. We take so much for granted. I missed hot, everlasting showers. I missed having the option to drink from the tap. Even missing these things feels shameful. There are children who have to work to feed their family, and it's still not enough. People who have no other option but to drink the contaminated water. And here I am, missing all the things people dream of having. I'm so sorry. While in Pakistan, we got the opportunity to film with some amazing people who invited us to their homes. Kieran taught us how to make the best biryani I've ever had. And she was nice enough to provide us with a full recipe. If you haven't seen that video, be sure to check it out. Her kids are also just the most adorable little human beings. We also made another friend, Kareem. He's the youngest pastry instructor in Karachi. If you want to know more about his journey, be sure to check the link at the end of this video. We spent time with him and his family. His sister taught us how to make cardamom tea, which is so delicious and actually super easy to make. This is something you simply don't experience in the US. We don't invite strangers into our homes, but in Pakistan, they do often. Before coming to Pakistan, I joined a Facebook community. When I told people in the group that I was coming to Pakistan, I received hundreds of messages. People asking me to eat with them. People asking if I needed a guide. I even got people who thanked me for visiting their city. I was shocked. I've never received hospitality like this. And they treat you like a true guest. They cook for you. They don't expect you to pay for anything or even clean anything. The kindness I received was unmatched. In Pakistan, they eat with their fingers, and you are kind of expected to do so. Yes, put your hands in the sauce and dig into the nahari. They treated us like family. They taught us how to eat like true Pakistanis. They were grateful that we took the time to visit them. This is something you will find throughout Pakistan. The amount of hospitality is simply amazing. People I've never met just being excited to meet me and have lunch. My friend Kareem's mother left us with gifts, handmade beautiful purses and plenty of food to eat when we got back home. To my friend Danya, I'm gonna need you to provide me with that mint chutney recipe. Delicious. To my friend Kieran, we miss you guys. And tell your kids we miss them dearly. And to my close friend Kareem, I can't wait to see you again. I would absolutely visit Pakistan again. Despite the culture shock and the things that people in Pakistan have to deal with on a daily basis, I enjoyed being there. It may not be a vacation destination, but I guarantee the people of Karachi will make sure you have a good time. They will look out for you. They will be the friends you never knew you needed. Leaving was hard. There is a sort of emptiness you feel when you leave the city, almost like you're losing something. Please be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Inshallah, I'll be back soon. But until then, make sure you tune into my next video. Leave in the comments where you think I'll be going next.